What up, guys? Rich from Greenways Car Care Products, greenwayscc.com. Yes, behind me, if you can see it, it's tons of boxes for all the packing. So when you own a small business, unfortunately, you have to do all these different things. And I had to pick up boxes today. But either way, hopefully this video brings you some value. This is in regards to pricing for your auto detailing business, whether you're shop-based or mobile-based, it doesn't matter. Arguments with customers. Let me explain. A bunch of people have came to me in the past, younger detailers who just got in the business. I try to help them out, whether they're trying to set up their mobile auto detailing unit or they're getting a shop or whatever. And one of the big complaints is that they're constantly arguing with customers or negotiating prices, whatever terminology you want to use in regards to the services. And I asked them, well, how does it go? Tell me the conversation. And like, well, I'll get a phone call and they'll ask how much this service is. I'll tell them and they'll either say, the guy down the road does it cheaper, or I'm used to paying this, or why is it so expensive, blah, blah, blah. And the person tries to explain it, the business owner tries to explain it to them. And a lot of times like, nah, that's just too expensive. I'm going to keep looking around. Sometimes they'll text message them and they'll go back and forth and say, well, it's cheaper here, blah, blah, blah. Again, just arguing because they found someone to do it cheaper. And I asked the detailers, well, show me your website. And they don't have one. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have a website? It's 2024, 2023. I don't have one. I'm like, well, how does the customer know what all entails a service? Because detailing is very extensive. When we talk about auto detailing, most customers, in my opinion, they don't realize how extensive the detailing process is. It could take many, many of hours. I'm not talking about just coatings, just a normal detail. I've done over 10,000 vehicles easily over the past couple decades, which isn't that many when you consider some of the other detailers who have much more experience than I do or many more years into it. I did a lot of vehicles. And even though during that time I did all those vehicles, it still took me a long time. Yes, I did get better. Yes, I did expedite the service, the process, I should say. But it did take me a long time to do many vehicles. It is what it is. Unless you're having multiple people jump on a vehicle, which is not always the best thing, but if you're having that, it takes time. Even with two guys on a vehicle, it takes time. Detailing is, if you're doing it right, is the details of the vehicle. The small nook and crannies that separate a detail from a standard express wash or express detail. So customers don't understand that. They think it's like an hour process or 2 hour process. A detail can take a half a day, a full day. So it's very important to have your website set up with all the packages listed on your website with a range of prices. That way, when a customer says to you, well, how much do you charge? You should be asking them, well, did you go to my website to see the services we offer? And most of the time, they're going to say, no, I didn't. Well, at that time, I would tell you to direct them to the website, even if you're on the phone, to go over the packages so they can realize what they're getting for their money. And after they end up reading everything and seeing the prices, many of times they're going to be like, wow, that's all for all that? Because they're seeing it takes these 10, 20, 30 steps depending on the package they're getting, and it costs this much. So a lot of times when people call, the conversation's just like, well, how much is a full detail? It's $400. A customer doesn't know you have to prep wash the car, clay the car, the engine, fallout remover if needed, all these different steps. They don't realize that. So it's super important to make a website, whether through GoDaddy or whatever type of hosting, it's cheap, and to direct the customer to the website to learn about your services. And again, I'm not saying disconnect the call to lose a sale. You can even do it while you're on the phone. Or if they text message you, refer them to the website and follow up with them. And then they can kind of determine what their vehicle needs. And that way there's a range of different prices and different services. But also, when they pick that certain package, this is the second problem people have. The customer calls and they say, well, how much is it for this? And the detailer tells them it's this price. Well, there's add-ons, whether it's dog hair, the engine, maybe you have contamination on the outside, whatever the case might be. And you do the detail, and then the customer's upset at you and leaves a bad review or is arguing like, hey, you missed that. Well, that's not included. And in their mind, they're thinking, well, I paid for a full detail. That should be included. Again, by having your website set up, they could clearly pick the package of what they want. When they pick that package, it states what's included in that package. And if you need add-ons, you add the add-ons to the package, because there are certain vehicles that might have excess dog hair, fallout on them, whatever the case might be. The wheels, might need some acid treatment because they're excessively dirty. Whatever the case might be, if you have to make extra money by using your products, or it's going to be extra time, they can pick those extra services on your website. So you have to stop trying to go to step 2 or 3 before you complete step 1. And step 1, again, you register your business, all that stuff. But I'm talking about having a foundation to explain to the customer clearly what they're paying for, and the different options is through a website. It could be a mobile app, but ultimately it's some type of website directing them there to allow them to read about your services, maybe see photos before and after, whatever the case might be. But I can't stress enough how important it is to have everything laid out in writing, and stop this text messaging back and forth, negotiating prices, and then becoming salty because they're telling you the guy down the road charges $100 and you're at $400. The guy down the road that charged $100, he's not doing full details. If he was, he's not going to be in business for long. And when I say full details, I'm talking more, almost everything, right? You're really spending your time, you're clay barring, maybe a 1 or 2 step process on the outside. It takes time. The guy charging $100 and saying it's a full detail, it's a full detail in his mind. But in a professional detailer's mind, or someone who really knows the profession, it's not really a full detail. It might be a 1 step or an express seal, whatever. It's not the nitty gritty of the vehicle. So what I would do is take some time, and it's not that hard because you're not reinventing the wheel. There's all these other detailing companies already online. You can simply copy them. Yeah, I said copy them. All the services throughout a certain area are going to be very similar. I'm not saying copy word for word or copy prices or any of that stuff, but basically it's going to give you an outline of what services and packages there are to offer, and you could mix them up slightly. You could put your own twist, but again, you're not reinventing the wheel. Okay, everyone is offering similar services to you, and the prices are going to be different, and they might throw a little bit extra in or take some out. That's it. So all these excuses, I don't know what type of packages to choose or create. I don't know pricing. Pricing could be a little bit more of a tricky part, but that's for another video. But in terms of packages, go to different websites, see what your competitors are offering, even if they're not your competitors, even if they're different areas. Get ideas and copy those ideas and just mold them to how you see fit your business. It's as simple as that. But educating the customer in terms of what detailing actually is, what they're going to get for their money, is your priority, and it's going to benefit your business. And if you're too lazy to sit down for a day, 4 hours, however quick and efficient you are, your business will suffer. I can't believe on these forums these detailing forums, how many people I see post and get pissed that the customer said this over a text message. Do you realize how pathetic you look? I said pathetic because to me, you look pathetic when you're trying to argue with a customer over a text message about prices, about freebies. Oh, I'll refer you to a customer, give me a discount. Guys, when you go to the store and you buy something, when you get to the register, do you go up and say, well, I'm going to tell my friend to come here to buy the same exact vacuum, so can you give me 20% off? Oh, I only have $50 and the bill's $65. How about I give you $50 because I'm going to come here next week and buy more stuff? Does that happen? Do you go to one of the big box stores and pick off stuff off the shelf and say, well, once I get to the register, I'm going to be able to get a discount? Of course you don't. So why would you be playing with your business, not respecting yourself, your time and energy, and allowing these customers to dictate pricing to you? That is pathetic. It's disrespectful, and I won't even entertain it. Anyone trying to text message you about prices over a phone, I would shut it right down. I will call you. Is this a good number I could get you at? Obviously it should be, unless they're using some other encrypted number or whatever, one of those Google numbers or something, because they don't want to share their personal information. But more than likely, it's their cell phone number, and you could simply just contact them on the cell phone and go over to your website and explain to the customer. And after explaining everything, I'm telling you, a lot more times than not, you're going to be able to close them on the package that it might not suit their 100% needs, but it's going to be maybe enough to make them happy, and you win and they win. They got the service or some type of service they're looking for, and you got business out of it. Maybe they can't afford the ultimate package, but assuming you could kind of talk them into something else, which they might be happy off of. I don't know. It's really up to that customer. Some customers aren't going to be happy no matter what, but most customers that you get will be relatively happy if you explain in detail that, hey, these are the services and this is what you're getting for the price. Most customers. Will you have those oddball customers who are just never happy and they need an ultimate detail and they just don't want to pay the $500 for it? Absolutely. But more than likely than not, most people are reasonable and they understand that, hey, my car needs all this work and at this time I can't afford it, so I'm willing to accept a little bit lower of a package and deal with these other things that are untouched for the time being. So again, I'm not going to go too much more on this video because you can kind of see it gets me fired up, because I just cannot believe how these detailers are in business and they're not acting like a business owner. You could be a one-man show. I'm not saying you got to be this big corporation. You could be a one-man show and still respect yourself, respect your business, respect your money. And it's not up to you to degrade your value and start arguing and negotiating prices and comparing your services down the road to the other guy. You're not that guy. You are the guy in your business. Don't compare yourself to another competitor. Your business is different. Yes, it does the same type of services, but it's not you doing the services. It's them. They can never be you and you can never be them. I know that seems so kind of stupid to say, but you can see it just gets me upset, because you are you offering a service that no one else can do with your type of customer service, your type of skills, expertise, all these things. Yeah, some other person could be doing the same thing as you, but you are the face of your business. You put a special touch on the business, and if you can have that energy transferred from you to the customer to allow them to trust you that they are in good hands with the vehicle, I'm telling you, you will get the business even if you're more expensive. Just having that, I don't want to get off on another tangent here, but just having that connection between you and the customer, and them believing in you that you can provide a service and make them happy. A lot of times they're willing to pay more because you went through the steps to explain to them, hey, this is what you're getting, this is the experience I have all the tools, all this stuff, and they could see that clearly laid out in your website I'm telling you, we'll get business. So again, guys, don't disrespect yourself. Don't let the customers try to run all over you and negotiate prices and compare people down the road. Stop it, okay? You're in business to make money, and if you're not going to make money and just say, well, something's better than nothing, get out of business. Don't try another business. Just don't be in it not to make money and come off your area in terms of negotiating prices. The price is the price. That's it. If you want to throw in a little freebie at the end that doesn't take you that long or cost you that much money, okay, but the price is the price, guys. Again, this is Rich from Greenways Car Care Products, greenwayscc.com. If you have any questions, again, reach out to us, sales@greenwayscc.com. Thanks a lot and have a great day.